Well, why don't you tell everyone your name and what you do for your career?
Yeah, hi everybody. Vanessa Monterosa. I'm a senior associate partner in a venture philanthropy nonprofit where I work with early stage entrepreneurs who have big ideas for K-12 education. My role is remote. I've been remote since the pandemic, and so that has definitely had some implications for clothes and how I show up in the world when my world is primarily virtual. But yeah, it's a little bit about what I do and what my day to day looks like.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So before Next Level Wardrobe, tell everyone what was the biggest challenge that you faced with your wardrobe or style, and how did those challenges impact daily life, confidence, and career?
I would say that the biggest challenges before that were most prominent because of the pandemic was one, my work was remote, so I never really left home, and it felt like all I really existed was in this box. And really slowly, the bottom half was primarily in black leggings, 110% of the time, black leggings on the bottom. And slowly, I started only buying clothes from the top up, just lots of blouses. And anytime I had to run errands, leave my home, it would be a struggle to be like, what do I wear? Because the tops look really cute on camera, but do not read well in the real world. So I was really only buying clothes for like my Zoom calls. And then it would just feel really discouraging to be like, gosh, do I wear black leggings again out in the world? Do I just throw on a t-shirt? It was a struggle just to think about what to wear. And then as a voluptuous woman, it's just hard to even just find clothes that made me feel good, that fit well, and that could translate between like work meetings and real world, that read clean and polished in both arenas. And I just got in this rut where I almost didn't want to leave home because it was just too much work. It was too much work to think about what to put on. It was easier to put on my cute little tops for my virtual meetings. And it was just a really hard spiral to get out of.
Mhm.
And so what I had really started doing was a lot of internal work about, okay, how do I really want to show up in both worlds? Especially in my current role, I've started to do a lot more traveling and representing our company in a lot of different spaces. And so I was thinking critically about how do I want to show up in those spaces, but also how do I just want to show up here in my home, which is both my home and my place of work. And I wanted to feel good in all those spaces.
Yeah. And what had you tried? Had you tried buying more, shopping? What? Yeah, take me through that.
Oh yeah, I would buy without a plan. I would buy like just in single piece kind of fashion. Like if I saw this top, it was cute as an isolated top, cool. If I saw these bottoms, it's cute as an isolated top. By the way, all I really owned were skirts and dresses and lots of cute tops that had no real bottoms to go with except black leggings. So I'd buy a lot of dresses because that just felt really easy. Whether that was like big flowy dresses that look nice on camera and I could just go out, but it didn't feel um, sophisticated. It didn't feel professional. It really could only be like a one-time use kind of thing. But I was buying without a plan. The plan was, what can make me feel better in this moment? And
Mm,
that plan was not helpful
yeah.
whatsoever.
And did you also feel discouraged by what was on offer to you
Oh
as
my
well?
gosh. Yes, I had honestly, for as a plus size woman, my professional options for me, I thought were limited. There were really only three brands or three places I would go to for plus size clothes. And that would be Torrid, Lane Bryant, and sometimes Target. But I was open to investing in better pieces and learning more, but I didn't even know where to start. I didn't even know where to look. And having been a purchaser of pieces across those places and how I wanted to show up, it just wasn't aligning with what I wanted. And sometimes even the quality of those pieces were hit and miss. Some of them have lasted long and they work great, they look great in real life and on camera. Others look really bad, really,
Yeah.
really bad in a short amount of time.
But they look good online, though. They look
They
great
look
online.
online.
With all the lighting and pins behind them and all that stuff. So, yeah, I could imagine how frustrating it was for you to, because you had this vision, you had done all the internal work, you had the goal,
Yeah.
but then it's like, how do I actually bring this to life at this point? So,
Mhm.
yeah. Can you share? So, you worked with Lucia, who is here tonight. Can
Amazing.
you share what was the experience of working with Next Level Wardrobe like for you? So, were there any special moments that stood out to you?
Oh my gosh. I would say honestly, doing this masterclass before diving in headfirst to like the personalized one-on-one was so helpful. First of all, just the knowledge that you're providing here for free, and then having that in the back of my mind once I became a client, was just a great foundation for the conversations that Lucia and I had. For me, going into those conversations with an open mind, a growth mindset around what would it take to really get to the vision that I have for myself. There were a lot of emotional moments for me. Um, the closet edit, for example, not that I was emotional in letting things go, but it was just like, wow, there is so much to clean out here so that I can really achieve my vision. And just the amount of stuff that I was letting go and making room for like the kinds of pieces that are going to really help me get there
Yeah.
was a big step for me. And then I would say moments in the middle and toward the end when we would meet and talk about what this experience was like. You kind of hinted to it in the email I had shared with you,
Mhm.
that I really did not. I knew I was going to get to a place that was going to be great and exciting and different, but I think the fact that I really got to a place that I had envisioned and like beyond, I got emotional in our last call because I'm like, I cannot believe that the confidence I feel inside, it is exuding on the outside. And it's not just like it's me affirming myself, because when I look in the mirror, I feel great. But the reactions that I've gotten from new people that I've met out in the field, my colleagues who were like, "Oh, that's new. That's a little different." And it's just, yeah, it's been really wonderful. I think as a plus size woman, it's sometimes hard to like find those pieces of joy when it comes to our appearance, especially in a professional setting. When I think about the amount of years I've gone to certain brands and there's like certain open cut shoulder things for like work blouses and like really baggy options, when deep down I like my curves and I like to show them wherever I can in a sophisticated, classy way. But to have found that alignment was just something I had not fully anticipated, and that
Mhm.
was just more just of my track record and just life experiences.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. I remember Lucia recorded the graduation call with you, and I watched all the graduation calls, and we were talking about it. And Lucia and I were just so thrilled with everything you had shared and your wins and your transformation on that call. And Lucia was like, I think Lucia can say here in the chat, she was like, I was trying not to cry, but I wanted to cry with her. I was like, you could cry. It's okay. You could cry because, but really kudos to you for doing the masterclass, doing the inner work, like knowing yourself and trusting yourself enough to get to the place where you're like, I'm ready now. I'm ready to do it and I'm ready to invest the time, the money, the energy. And now, I mean, look where you are now. It's only been a few months. It hasn't even been that long of a time, which is wild.
No, no. And I think also telling myself like to be open to your and Lucia's expertise. Because that's why I wanted to work with you. I wanted to work with the experts, so I was really releasing a lot, which was scary for me. But I'm so glad I did it. And there were moments where like the wide leg pant idea, I was like, okay, I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. Very millennial of me just wants to stick to those skinny jeans and those leggings. But when I put them on, because I'd never gotten given them a chance, I just always envisioned that as a plus size woman, wide leg pants would just make me look more plus size. And when I tried them on, I was like, oh wow, the silhouette is so sleek and so just, I don't know. I loved the structure. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly how I want to show up. I did not anticipate loving my wide leg jeans. I did not anticipate, what is the other penny loafers that I got? I had never worn penny loafers. And now I'm like rocking them everywhere. And so I just, yeah, I'm really glad that I was also able to just like release and let go of my own barriers and my own, misconceptions around like what my style needs to look like because of insert size. Um, so that was really liberating too.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me about is there a moment when you remember the first time you noticed a difference in maybe how you carry yourself or how others perceive you after working with Next Level Wardrobe and what happened?
In working with Lucia, I was really primarily focused on my work wardrobe, something that I can wear on my calls and then go out in the world. And then a few pieces that would also blend into like more casual. But really, I was focused on like my external professional identity. That's what I really wanted to elevate. And so my first travel thing that I did to a conference, it was the first time I packed light. I had a plan. I did not have to take my big suitcase for a 4-day trip. I was going to Albuquerque. Lucia and I had talked about the kinds of fabrics to wear in certain temperatures, some outfit ideas. So the fact that I only packed, I think, like 6 things was mind boggling to me. But I had a plan each day. And when I put on the first outfit, which is actually this blouse with some deep blue navy pants, um, and my new little shoes, even before I walked out the door, I felt great. I was like, this is the way I wanted to show up. I want my presence to speak as loudly but as confidently as possible before I even open my mouth. So what you might a taste of what you might get once we like connect. So I just felt great even before I walked out the door. And then when I went to this event, I just felt like there was a confidence boost in me that like coupled with the vibe and energy I was giving and what I was wearing, I felt unstoppable for me. And that was before I even interacted with anyone. And since then, I feel like I've gotten a lot of, oh, I like your vibe. Oh, I like your energy. And this is just us, that first impression piece. The style has been kind of like an icebreaker when I meet and I'm out networking out in the world, and even here on my Zoom calls. So it has really been transformative for me to finally feel like the outside is finally showing, like the inside is finally showing on the outside for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the funky pieces are a great conversation starter too. They really are, especially in new settings and stuff like that. So, what would you say to someone who is where you were before NLW? So, people on the fence about working with us, what would you tell them?
What would I say to somebody where I was before? I would say first and foremost, take the leap. This team knows what they're talking about. That boutique bespoke service is also no joke. They will answer all your nitty gritty questions. Sometimes it felt like at all times of the day, but I just really appreciated feeling like I had a trusted bestie to talk style and fashion with. Um, I had appreciated the activity of like creating my Pinterest, which I did here in the masterclass, which was part of the experience as a client. So being able to create that and then like go back to that vision, that you're really going to be able to achieve it. The investment is so worth it because again, you have like these trusted experts who care deeply about helping you reach your goal. And I think that speaks to the fact that you only work with so many people every couple of months, so you really are able to get that one-on-one attention, and really detailed guidance, and just the way that you all are able to help us develop our style or like launch into our style journey. Even having worked now after having worked with you guys, this style journey really is a journey. I feel like I learned so much through the masterclass. I learned so much in being a client. And now when I go out in the world, I have a plan. I have an eye for how might this have fit into my closet. My closet is full. I'm not buying anything new for quite some time. But when I am out in the world and I'm at the store, I just have a keener eye. One, I know my style. I know my vision. I know the NLW plan. And you're going to be able to also have that keener eye around your style, your vision, your goals. And the NLW team will help you get there 110% for sure. That's what
Yeah.
I would tell someone there, my past self, that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like what you said, take the leap too, right? And I think that coupled with letting go of all the rules and things that you had for
Yes,
yourself, those two kind of live hand in hand and they have to live hand in hand, right? And it's just like about putting your trust into the experts and know that like we have your back too.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I heard, you guys.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you did. We're so thrilled. Honestly, when I think of like all the clients that Lucia has worked with this year, like you're one of the top ones that come up in terms of memory and just transformation and all of that stuff. So thank you for being a great student too. So kudos to you. And yeah, I so appreciate you being here and sharing your story as well. Thank you.